All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're going to be jumping into our first series of the day. I want to welcome you guys to Base Trade TV as we jump into the bottom left-hand corner of the map atop of the red Protoss player from Team Ascension. Give it up for the Protoss Creature.
And his opponent representing Team Gravity, our pink Zerg player, recently getting 4th place in the King of the North Cup. Give it up for Fat Cat Chef.
He might go. Yeah, he might go under the name Idra. 3 hatch before the way. He might go by the name Idra, but Tempo, this is not a very Idra-esque build. This was a fairly early pool, no gas geyser. Creature's gonna come in over here and scout this.
Yeah, he's gonna see it immediately, and he did end up putting his gateway down first. He didn't go for the Nexus first, which would have been a little bit easier for this build to be more successful, but I think Creature, you know, knowing what's going on, he should have ample time to at least delay. Even get the Zealot out. I think the Zealot is going to get out in time, so he should have no problem holding this here.
Yeah, this is kind of
pretty tough.
This is kind of interesting, because usually when I end up seeing like these earlier pools, it's usually coming off of a gas geyser also, and you're getting up that early Zergling speed, and you're really all in. But he's able to afford that hatchery much earlier than you ever normally would. So even though it does come in a little bit later, I guess it might still be able to kill or do some damage.
Yep. And with the second Zealot coming out, he should be okay. Excuse me there, but yeah, he was really well prepared for this.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Slaza. 12,000, that's a really big number. Slaza, 12,000. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 13 months in a row.
Hey, look at that. Breaking that year anniversary. Not even like, yeah, just going to be 1 year and I'm out of here. But
yeah, man, if you don't have your Partouf, go message...
dipping.
Gotta go message Rifkin about that.
Yeah.
Alright, so Tempo... the 6 Zerglings are made nice and early on and everything, and he does get up a hatchery for his natural expansion. A little bit on the, like, I guess, kind of early-ish side, considering how he went for the earlier pool. But, like, how do you feel about how this has gone so far?
Yeah, it is not going too well for Fat Cat Chef. He's not completely behind in the sense, like, he cannot recover from it. You mentioned also that he didn't take the gas, which is very important. You know, he didn't want to go all in with it. Maybe trying to take advantage of a Nexus first and then kill a few probes and throw off the build of Creature. But Creature scouted, went for the gateway, was able to get out the Zealot in time, and now he's going to be able to get a really nice economic lead and even put on a bit of pressure as well. So here come the Zealots and the Adept.
Yeah, I like what Fat Cat did with these Zerglings, though. He did kind of hide them in the corner, waited for the Zealots and the Adept to actually move out, and then sent his Zerglings back in, and he's already been able to kill 5 workers. This is starting to do the damage that those initial Zerglings, I know, I mean, they're the same Zerglings, but they're finally doing the damage they needed to earlier.
Oh, that's so important that they were able to get out there. So the fact that Fat Cat Chef did have to make a few more units in order to defend this kind of sucks, but he was able to get a full scout. He knows that the Stargate is done, and it's not even going to be an Oracle, it looks like. The Phoenixes are going to be here, and he knows that it's going to be a Phoenix if he paid attention to what was in production. So he's so lucky to be able to get that, even though he was a little bit in an unfavorable position before.
Yeah, but look at this. Fat Cat is, as you said, he was paying attention. He is already building some of those Spore Callers and getting ready for whatever units are going to be popping out. The Phoenixes are looking around, trying to hunt down some of those Overlords, and the Zealots are trying to make their way back. But we got a couple of Zerglings just making their way around and going to be able to scout out this 3rd expansion if they ever decide to poke up.
It's almost assumed that you are going to see that 3rd base come out when the Phoenixes are in production, or usually you'll think it's an Oracle, but yeah, this is a little bit of a tough spot, I would say, because Fat Cat can't really do anything right now. He does have an Evo Chamber, and he has an Overlord in position, but the problem is, of course, that with the Phoenix Opener, it's a little bit more difficult to actually get the dropping done. So he's going to try to do it anyway, perhaps, as he's making a lot of flings, getting +1, 2.
Yeah, he is really committed to this. He's sitting on only 32 drones, and if he's gonna make something work, he has to make this work, because the follow-up is pray and hope that your opponent doesn't attack you while you maybe try and drone up, or you just try and continue the all-in and hope the second round works because your opponent plays greedy after they hold off the first round.
First, you don't succeed. But
All
Fat
in, all
Cat
in
Chef
again.
is going in here. He's getting +1. It's obviously not done just yet. But yeah, he's going to be sticking on 32 drones for a long time. And the ground army is not going to be that great. But if he's able to force out some of these... Yeah, the photon overcharges, he's being very, very careful with them. Okay, maybe not as he uses both.
Yeah. But I mean, I still like the situation that Creature is in right now. I mean, that nice little narrow corridor makes it very easy for the Adept to try and not get surrounded for a while. The Phoenixes are still doing some nice harassment on the other side of the map, picking off Queens or Overlords. He does pick off the Queen over the third expansion. At the same time, the Zergers are trying to do this run by. Oh, the Sentry's not going to have enough energy for a force field for a good bit of time, though.
Oh my god, he's making so many links and going in, and he's not really getting too much done with it. +1 is just not done yet. Adepts are a little bit helpful, but they're going to go down. Remember, there are no more photon overcharges. Oh my god, there's a hole there. I believe he could go in there if he wanted to.
He could go in. He's trying to kill off of these sentries first, though. One of the sentries does have enough energy for another force field. There it goes. And it looks like all of these Zerglings are going to end up getting cleaned up, maybe with another round of Warpins. I think the Creature has the potential to hold this without losing too much.
Yeah, and I mean, he could go into the mineral line and take out some of the probes, Fat Cat Chef, but he's deciding not to do that. Fighting the army, and
Oh my
that is
god.
not going to be successful. I feel like he hit a little bit too early.
Oh, tempo.
You wait for +1. That was kind of like the whole point of that build, I think.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Oh, almost gets the run by over in the main base. It's going to be able to pick off a sentry over there. That's definitely not too bad. But losing some more of these Zerglings tempo, we're at the point where we've seen 94 Zerglings die, and he's only killed off 2 sentries, 2 zealots, and 5 adepts.
Yep. That is not a place you want to be here as a Zerg player at all. He's only on 35 drones, and he's trying to go into a little bit of droning on the back of it. Oh, Fear Dragon. This is not a successful attack at all. The units lost tab is about double here for our Zerg player. No, okay, now the probes are going to go down. No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Zerglings are still trying to get some damage on them and may be able to pick off an Immortal, but oh no, this is not a Heart of the Storm Immortal. They are the Legacy of the Void ones. They have giant barriers that actually do pretty well at taking that Zergling damage. Phoenixes are still going ham on the other side of the map, too.
Oh, Fear Dragon. I don't know where Fat Cat's supposed to go from here. He has a lair and he's trying to go into Hydras, but it's already going to be a 3-base Protoss versus a 3-base Zerg, who is not even saturated fully there. So, the army composition that he's going to be going for, maybe Ling Hydra, I just don't think he's going to be able to get enough of them out to really make a substantial difference.
Tempo. At this point, I almost kind of would have preferred, instead of going for the Hydralisk and everything, or even the lair, if you just thrown down a Baneling Nest and see if you would have could have done with that. Because, I mean, realistically, that could have done something, I feel.
Yeah. The Phoenixes are there for, like, say he wanted to go for Overlord drops with Banelings to try to reset it, because I think he needs to do something drastic here. He can't, I mean, it is Dusk Tower, so it's going to be really hard to, but I just don't know. He's going into Lurkers, basically, but it's not going to be too many Lurkers that he can afford.
Mm-hmm.
This is tough here, Fear Dragon. Like, look at the supply.
Oh man, I feel like he's also really overmaking these Overlords right now. I know he lost a few, but he's got 5 Overlords popping. He's sitting at 70 of, what, 114 supply? And he's still got 3 more Overlords gonna pop.
Yeah, I think he committed a little bit too much to that attack. And if you're gonna do a commitment like that, you definitely need to wait until all of the pieces are there. Fat Cat Chef going and saying Phoenix OP. The Phoenixes haven't even done too much, I believe. What is it? They've killed Overlords, I guess. Never mind.
Yeah.
The Lings, like, goodness.
Yeah, and in that regard, I do kind of understand why he's like making a ton of these Overlords, but this is a really, really tough spot right now for Fat Cat Chef.
Tough is an understatement. It's just this army is just gonna absolutely steamroll everything that Fat Cat Chef has. He is in trouble. Stasis Ward. That, like, insult to injury. That's like half his army. 3 links.
Oh, there's the dance actually coming out from Fat Cat. He tosses out that GG, and we are going to see Creature take game number 1.
Yep. So that'll be game number 1. Obviously a build out of Fat Cat Chef that didn't really work out. I think a build like that works so much better on, like, Laralac Crest. Dusk Towers is not the best map to try the kind of early Lings and super Ling focused armies, I would say. So
Yeah, I would definitely agree with something like that. I don't know. It was just such a strange thing to me to see him try and go so ham on the Zerglings on 32 drones, but I know that we joked about it, like, you know, if at first you don't succeed, all in again, but like
80 tickets a height.
Yeah, I really just feel like some of the things that we were talking about, I you know, waiting for +1 melee attacks, I can kind of see why you didn't want to do that, because if you wait even like an extra 45 seconds, suddenly that's like another 2 to 3-ish rounds of warp-ins for the Protoss player. That's actually a pretty big deal. You imagine you end up having, I don't know, like 9 to 12 more adepts potentially after he ends up scouting out what's going on, because the Phoenixes are out. Phoenixes are going to get the scout off on all of that.
No matter what, yeah.
Yeah, so I can kind of understand why you want to just go, but really just didn't work out quite as well as he wanted to. I would love to see him just try and play a more standard macro game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's more a build tailored more to the map. Because, like, I feel like he was trying to kind of, like, metagame, you know? I'm not really sure if that was the case, but he was hoping for the Nexus first. It wasn't the case, right?
Yeah.
And then he was hoping that perhaps it would be a little bit too much greed, and he wouldn't make that many units because he committed too heavily to the Phoenixes, but he stayed on his ramp, Creature did, and he was able to just chill out. Was like, okay, keep my cool, don't blow the photon overcharge too early. And he just kept his cool and was able to defend. Really solid play out of Creature.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of... okay, I shouldn't even say I've seen a lot of Protoss players. I've seen myself cave under that kind of pressure where it's just like, you think that you're holding off the giant Zergling flood, and you actually do a pretty good job for quite a bit of time. But it's not like it's not even like the first round of Zerglings or anything. It's just that constant stream of Zerglings that keeps coming in. And eventually, they just somehow manage to break through, and then things spiral out of control. So really, really well done. That kind of calmness out of Creature definitely paying off quite a bit. And we're going to move on to another map that's actually very, very common to see a lot of early aggression on. It's Olrina.
I love this map. I used to be like, dude, this map sucks, but I think some of the different builds and the crazy games that we've seen in this map is like, oh my god. And you saw the top Reddit post today too, so that adds another thing to it too.
All right, well, we're going to be hopping into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys on Olrina. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping into it. Game number 2 as we spawn down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map on top of Team Gravity's purple Zerg player. Give it up for Fat Cat Chef.
And his opponent spawning in the top left corner, up by 1. Representing Team Ascension Pro, it is Creature.
So, once again, we have this really early pool coming out. Well, I guess it's not ridiculously early, but I mean, it's a kind of early pool with no gas. It's like that same style of build that he went for in the last game.
And it's going to be a bit better this time, but we'll see if it's actually going to work. The rush distance is a lot smaller here on Olrina. And Creature, is he actually going to believe Fat Cat Chef here, or is he going to go proxy? I think... Did you see what he said in the chat? He goes, I'm taking the gold.
Yeah.
And Creature's actually going to go check.
All right, 2 things. It sounds like people are saying that Tempo, you're a little bit quieter, so I did just turn you up. Second thing, thank you so much to Toplu for subscribing. Big shout out to you.
Hey!
But all right, how does this go? These Zerglings tried this last time, and the other Zealot popped out in time to save this Zealot, but this time, I'm not so sure that's going to happen. Olrina's rush distance working out quite well. Oh,
yeah,
this probe
it's so short. Even the probes coming off the line, realizing that, of course, Fat Cat Chef had to commit a little bit more. Not going to have too many drones mining at home, so without having to put down another pylon or anything like that, he's going to be able to be okay here. Oh, but the Lings find a way once again.
Oh, I guess they managed to sneak by, and they're going to be able to at least get a bit of scouting information over here. Not seeing the second gas geyser, I guess, is a little bit of a reveal, but there's not a whole lot they're really seeing. Yeah, just being annoying. Just taxing Creature's APM as he has to chase down those Zerglings. But, this is...
Once again, right? Fear Dragon kind of shooting himself in the foot. before it really gets rolling.
Oh.
He did say that he was a bit tired. I know that he just did get home from Toronto. I believe he lives in New Jersey, so I don't know how long that trip is, but he drives pretty much all the time.
That's a long journey, man. I actually didn't realize that.
Yep.
Well, this is also kind of cool. We have the Baneliness coming out this game, so my wish from the last game is coming true this game.
I think if he goes for the Evo Chamber too, I will be the happiest man ever. But
Okay, here's
we'll
the
see
thing.
how he decides to utilize it.
Evo Chamber is weird, right? Because if you go for the Evo Chamber and you try and load up your Zerglings, then you have to either send them around in a very, very long pathway from like that choke point down, around, and over to the main base, or you have to do it like all the way from your main base to theirs, which is still a pretty long distance for the Overlord to travel.
Yeah, you would need to get to Overlord speed with it too, but it looks like he's just going to run into the front. And there are no sentries here, by the way. Warp Gate is not done yet, and it is going to be that Stargate again. So if it is a Phoenix first, then it's going to be pretty... Yeah, okay, so it's going to be an Oracle. I don't know how well this is going to work.
I'm pretty worried about this too, Tempo. Yes, the Banelings are probably going to be enough to take out like a Pylon or like the Zealot over at the front, but after that, how does this work?
Because, I mean, the problem that I see here is that you have to break the Protoss, right?
Yeah.
If you don't kill everything here, then you're in a lot of trouble. So,
Oh, that's a good
My
detonation.
Okay, well, the Oracle is going to be pretty good, though.
Yeah, the Oracle should be able to clean up all these Zerglings if they end up sticking around for too long. And just that with the Mothership Core over there, I feel like Creature, he takes some damage, but he's still got a nice little worker lead, and they're on even bases right now.
Yeah, the fact that he lost about 7 workers there and then was still up by 8 kind of shows a lot of how much damage Fat Cat Chef actually has to do here. And he's going to find it pretty hard to break on through.
Well, Zerglings at least have a little bit of area on the right-hand side of this this natural expansion to work with, but they are going to back up. The Oracle also now, it doesn't have that much energy, so it can't directly go across the map. That does give Fat Cat Chef some time to build up these Spore Crawlers, to get his defenses in place. But that third expansion, it's still not taken.
I was going to say that every drone that he has to make into a Spore Crawler is going to hurt so much. He needs to take the third base. He needs to figure out what it is that he's going to do here, because sitting on 2 bases and trying to drone back up, it's just not going to work. He needs to do something here.
He's making more Zerglings right now. I don't think he's looking to take a third, actually, at this point. And
I don't think so either.
He's also got a lot of gas that he's still been mining this entire time. He's up at 250, so I don't think he's going for a Lair Tech either. I think he's just going to try and Baneling bust this once again.
Oh, well, with Sentries and Adepts and Zealots, I think he's going to be perfectly fine. But if he can get into here, okay, this is a good distraction.
Yeah, Wallen not entirely completed over here. These Adepts and these Sentries should be able to fare totally fine. Oh no, the really, really nice and cute pylon placement over here does make it very difficult for those Zerglings to actually rush on in.
Yeah, death by SimCity. Creature is just too solid. You can't break him. Using all of these lanes, he needs to kill. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit here and try to like trade even equally, because he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
You know, it's really funny.
Like the Protoss player taking the third base all comfortably. He's like, okay.
Yeah, he's taking the third base and not really worrying about this. It's so funny, like, Creature's name is Creature. You'd kind of think of this as like a bestial, sort of innate, like, primal aggression and everything, but like all I'm getting from Creature is just like total calmness. It's just like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna go for this nice little wall in over here. Okay, now the Zerglings can't attack my natural expansion mineral line. Gonna place a force field over here. Just like everything is being executed really, really well by Creature and holding off aggression that I think, you know what, I don't really blame Fat Cat Chef that much for trying to go for this stuff. This probably works in a lot of his games, especially on like the ladder and everything, where Protoss is just kind of cave into the pressure, but Creature's doing a really good job just holding it together.
He's holding it together. He's playing super safe, and if he was playing like more greedy, I would say yes, that is going to be pretty bad. But no, he's been kind of just balancing out his economy with his tech, and then his unit count on the ground too. He's not skimping out on that too bad. You know, you'll actually see some Protoss players where literally they have 3 pylons and a Mothership Core and maybe like 1 Adept, but not Creature. Not Creature at all.
Yeah, well, we got a Spire coming up. The Warp Prism's gonna scout this, and all these Adepts are here as well. Oh my god, the Adept's gonna fire at the Spire from the low ground. Oh! Fat Cat Chef has to cancel the Spire.
2 Adepts, right? Which are pretty good at killing buildings, am I right? It's just,
as demonstrated by these Spine Crawlers, but here we go. Zerglings and Banelings coming on in. Recall gets used to escape out of the 3rd expansion. I think he's still gonna be able to save that, though.
I think he should be able to, but I mean, all of his distractions is pretty big. It's just not enough. He's losing so much at home. Down to 24 drones to the 44 of Creature. These Adepts, not only did they take out a Spire, but they added a few drones to their resume too. Now it's 23 workers killed in total. Fat Cat Chef, he's gonna try to just basically go all in here, or...
I mean, that's kind of what I feel like he's been doing since around like 3 minutes into the game.
True.
Oh. Well, I guess...
Spiritling just not, yeah, I don't think...
I don't know. Yeah, this is just really not working out so well for Fat Cat Chef. And yeah, maybe he's like denied a little bit of mining at this 3rd expansion, but once again, that pylon walling in, the photon overcharges, obliterating the Zerglings over on the high ground, the natural expansion. The army cleans up the 3rd, and I can't even try to like hype this up very much more. Like,
it's really hard to. I know.
I don't see how Fat Cat Chef can come back in this.
Yeah, Fat Cat Chef committing it way too early and not really getting the damage done that he needed to. Maybe wishing that he did actually take that gold, you know? Because then he might be able to drone up off of it and try to do something, you know, in that mid game. But this push is just gonna be too much.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I honestly figured that Fat Cat Chef is just way too tired, hasn't slept since coming home, and he's gonna get taken out by Creature, playing a little bit too solid for that style.
Yeah, I mean, a valiant effort to try and cheese his way on that one, and it kind of makes sense if you're really tired, like, you don't want to have long, drawn-out macro games. And I know he did actually play pretty well versus, like, all the players in the Kings of the North qualifier. But that is sort of just the way that things work. Oh, God. My sound effects are going crazy.
No.
But...
Oh, really? Did it do the thing where it just played them all again? Where it
did that thing. It did that thing where it's like it was acting as if my Alt button was held down. So when I was trying to like stop it, instead it would just play all of them at the same time. I'm like, oh, okay, that's wonderful.
That's funny.
But we are going to hop to a short break, ladies and gentlemen, as we go ahead and find our next match. You guys are watching the Chairs for Gaming North American Cup #1.